To increase its 2017 property tax revenue. The proposed increase is $300,000, which is 3.27, is that percent? Above the 2016 general fund tax revenue. The Wasatch County general fund tax on the $268,000 residents would increase from $319.70 to $329.70, which is a $10.43 per year increase. On a $268,000 business would increase from $580.49 to $599.46, which is $18.97 per year. So we'll have a presentation on this, and then we'll open it up for public comment and questions. Just for those who don't understand, well, maybe Ben can explain that, where that increase, what we're really doing with that increase. Are you making the presentation, Ben, or Mike, or who?
So we advertised for this tax rate increase with the tax bills that went out, so each resident received a notice on this. It's $300,000 going into the general fund, and it's outlined in here what the increase would cost taxpayers with an average home. And this does not include new growth, and so it's $300,000 more than we get this year, plus new growth. And my understanding of where it's to go is to make improvements in the dispatch center of the county sheriff's office.
Basically, what the proposal where we're getting the $300,000 holding the mill rate rather than lowering the mill rate like currently happens because of increased valuation.
Right.
We're holding the mill rate to what it was in 2016. Which, given growth, will then give us the extra $300,000. That's what the idea is. Any other input, Mike? Did you have anything to add to that?
No, this is something we had talked about starting back in about June.
Yeah.
And it was our hope that we could generate this money to. This is just one area of the county that needs attention, but law enforcement is an important part. Our costs of law enforcement are increasing at a greater pace than values of taxes and everything else. The amount of things that the sheriff has to deal with and our deputies is just, and so we're trying to keep pace. We're not going to quite keep pace, but we're trying to. We thought this was a good attempt. To try and help retain some of our officers, the losing officers that are going to other entities that are able to pay more. And it creates a competition, unnecessarily to some degree, but you can't blame the deputies for doing that. So we want to create an environment, hopefully, that can stay here and we can increase our coverage and so forth for the law enforcement.
Okay. Any other comments from council? Not, we will open this item up for public hearing, public comment. If you have a comment to make or a question, if you please come up to the microphone, identify yourself by name to our recorder, and then go ahead and make your comment or your question. So any input or questions from the public?
My name is Mike Hilliard. I live in Midway in Dutch Fields. I'm not here necessarily to talk about the materiality of the increase. My concern is we have several widows, several widowers living on a fixed income. And it seems to me that every year that I've been here, and that's been 10 years, so I realize I'm a young whippersnapper in the valley, okay? When does it stop? That's my basic question. I realize that the Sheriff's Department has some issues, and I support that. I don't have a problem. What I'm concerned about is budget creep over the years, and is the county effectively looking to cut programs, that are not necessarily as effective? Are you considering the impact on our folks that are living on Social Security? Honestly, I can property tax increase without any major concern to me. Our concern is a matter of principle here. Because once you put this increase, it becomes a part of the base, and we get budget creep year after year after year. And it seems to me, in our day and age, it's time to look at this. I'm also intrigued. This county is growing phenomenally. You've got significant new build going on, therefore that's increase of revenue. We have an electrical company that has brownouts this last summer because they don't provide enough electricity. What's the impact on water availability, water usage, and the other utilities that are associated? I'm just concerned about coming every year for more budget increases, and we don't hear the reports about where the economies and efficiencies have been taken in the program as well. I recommend caution. I recommend a little bit of prudence in this. I realize $350,000 in terms of materiality is not it. It's just I'm here saying, when does it stop? And so I don't mean to be disrespectful. I mean nothing in that respect. I was a controller and a finance officer for years. And we were very, very cautious before we asked for increases. And I just wonder what you're doing to address that. Thank you.
Thank you. Any council want to?
That applies for the next budget. I will comment it.
Thank you. Any comments on that?
Well, I think I Mike may be able to add to it, but the property tax bill, thanks for coming, Mike. The property tax bill, we get 70% or more goes to the school district, which we don't control. That's a big problem when it comes to the collection, because the county gets blamed for it, if you will. And I'm not blaming them for increasing. They have their issues and bonding, whatever. So the smaller amount, even smaller than that, comes to the county, and we are aware of that. Mike can correct me, but we have basically held the line on taxes. One exception in the past 10 years. I'm not telling where I'm wrong or right, but as a county entity, I think we've done our best to do that, and law enforcement's kind of forcing our hand, at least for our portion of the tax this year. Go ahead, Mike.
About 4 years ago, we held the tax rate. 3 years or 4 years? 3 years. 3 years ago, we did held the tax rate. Previous to that, 2003 was the last rate increase that we had. The way the state law is set up is when the county or any entity grows, we don't get to capture the growth automatically. And the way the statutes are written is that we can only retain the amount of growth that equals the amount that we spent the previous year. So unless we ask for, through a hearing process, which this is, to retain that, some of that additional growth, we don't get to retain it. And so this would be the third proposed increase in the last 16 years that we've asked for. The budget does go up, but the budget is also affected by fees and other things that we collect. As many people as apply for a permit, we give a permit. And so the more people that apply for a permit, the more money we collect. And so there are those types of things. And when we go through the budget process, those departments that deal with fees and so forth, we show that as well. And I share that concern. We are in the lower 50% of the tax rate in the state of Utah. We've been very conscious of trying to keep it lower than as low as necessary to facilitate that. And I don't disagree. I would like to not have to get more money. The pressure's on us, though, to provide more services. We receive a tremendous amount of pressure for more services. And the citizens of the county weren't demanding more services, we wouldn't have to provide them. But that's what we're seeing, is we're seeing more demand for services. And not all of that's being asked for. Law enforcement certainly is not one that everybody wants more problems in law enforcement. We don't want to have to send the ambulance out more times. We don't want to do any of those things, but we are. Our calls on ambulance are up, I don't know, 30–40%. And we don't dictate those things. They just happen. And we can only charge, we're regulated by the state on what we can charge, and the charges don't cover the costs. And so we have to make up those differences. And so I hope that we have addressed them and looked at them very seriously before we ask for them. I'm just as concerned as anybody. And I would like to hold it if we can. But this is something we have looked at.
Thanks, Mike.
I've got a couple of comments on that. Just, you know, I think one of the biggest concerns and questions that the citizens have that have approached me is they don't understand how, you know, with all the growth and with all the increased tax coming in, tax revenue, why we don't get all that money, because it seems like we're growing quite a bit. Taxes are coming in because of the new homes, the new commercial projects. But what you're saying is we don't get all of that money.
No.
We just,
Unless it's called trailer taxation. It was implemented 30 years ago.
20 years ago.
So where does the money go?
If you have a dollar in, I mean, I think here's the simple way, this isn't everything, but if you have a dollar in budget this year, and it's divided by all our houses, and we have 10 more houses this year, the next, we take the same dollar and divide it more, so it actually everybody's goes down, we keep the same amount. There's a little bit of growth that lets us maybe go to $1.05 because of some formulas. So what we did this year is if your tax in this dollar scenario was 5 cents, and it might have gone down to 4, in order to help something with our law enforcement this year and make them more competitive with our neighbors, we've retained at a nickel rather than getting, so rather than reducing your house, you're going to stay the same in our budget. That doesn't have anything to do with the rest of the tax revenue. You pay your taxes. This is what are we getting? 28% of the less than that. 15. So 15% of your property tax comes to the county, and there's 10 entities that do the rest, mostly to the schools. That's where the difference is, and what they've done, we don't control. So that's the difference, though. The budget is the same every year unless we have this hearing, and it's divided by more people, more houses, unless we keep the, and it goes down unless we have. I don't know if that helps.
Well, pull out, ma'am, if you have a question or further comment.
You do.
Good. Identify your name.
My name is Diana Lance, and we own commercial property in Heber, 9 acres. And last year we paid $470.94 an acre in taxes on this property. This year, it was raised to $681.63 an acre. That's a 45% increase. And my tax notice says that it's going to go up $906.67 plus $151.11. That is almost a 16%, 17% increase. But you're telling me this is only a 3%? So I'm not understanding.
Does your taxes break out to where those increases are?
No, it does. It gives me,
The different entities that are taxing you?
yeah, it gives me the, and I don't know, I didn't go down clear through it to see if it's in the schools or if it's in the county. I just know that it went from 470 last year to 681 this year, and it's going to go up another $100 or $110 an acre.
But again, like Councilman Thorpe.
I might help a little bit.
See, your Heber City bills on here.
So the county, this $906 increase, it says it's the general fund.
If you look at the chart on the board, we put up, there's where your taxes go.
It did, the value did get reassessed, yeah. Yeah, so, you know, so I understand that, but it's not going up 3%, it's going up 16 or 17%. And my, you know, my income isn't going up by that much. It's, you know, it's really hard to pay all your bills, and so it's an issue. So you think it's all in Heber City?
Well, not all of it, I can't. It's a combination. It's a combination, but that great big one there right under Heber
see it says general fund.
Mhm.
That Heber City general fund is ours below it, so that would be Heber City general fund.
Well, it
If you
says
look 15 over 16.
that Heber City last year was 309, and this year it's 725, so it almost doubled.
And look at the next one, the general fund, that's Heber's one.
So that the general fund is not Wasatch County?
Our general fund's down lower, B and C and down lower.
And we can,
So it is,
We'll do it tomorrow.
So you can come in and visit individually on yours. 'cause
Yeah.
Everybody's a little different. And your total tax bill might have increased 16%. The part we're dealing with is the county piece that we're raising at, what, 3%?
so this $900 increase is not the county? Because it's,
Not all of it.
so it's the county and the Heber City?
It's those entities right
Here, a
here.
little copy of that. Here's a different one.
It just says general fund.
And general fund parts. Some of those parts and rec we'll be talking about later.
And my house, it went up $8.13 for the general fund, and the Parks and Rec went up $136, which doesn't seem unreasonable to me, but this is a lot, especially after this year, what we paid that increase. It's huge. So, I don't know.
I'll have to go through and look at it and see if it's-
Thank you. You can, you know, we need to move. Any